It's the start of the speech. Do you know how long it will last? The speech has started.
Guillaume Gomez is the other man in charge at the presidential palace, overseeing the kitchens.
Let's get to work.
It's nothing like an ordinary restaurant here, because the menu changes daily.
We're very lucky. Unlike a typical restaurant, we have no menu. We never cook the same thing twice. In terms of creativity and expression, we can have lots of fun. There's no routine. That's the upside of working here. It's okay, they've got time.
But while there's no routine, there is one constraint. Everything has to be timed to the nearest second, and there's no room for error.
We have to be on top of our game all the time. We can't slip up. We can't get out of anything by saying, we won't charge you, or here's a glass of champagne. This is the finest of dining. Everything has to go well, regardless of who the president has invited.
36-year-old Guillaume has worked for 3 different presidents since arriving at the Elysée Palace 17 years ago. When he first came here, Jacques Chirac was still in office. Nicolas Sarkozy made Guillaume a Knight of the Order of Merit before François Hollande became head of state in 2012.
I remember the first time I came here. It was really impressive to be at the Elysée and to meet with the leaders of the time. I was met by Joël Normand, who came here first under General de Gaulle. For me, General de Gaulle was someone you only read about in history books. I remember thinking, how can someone stay and work here for so long? It's already been 17 years. It's a path I've chosen. There are never 2 days alike. That's what makes this kitchen so interesting.
But it's a kitchen that's demanding every day, and the pressure is always on for its chefs.
In a restaurant, the client adapts to the chef. You often tell the client that in order to make great food, you have to take your time, and it's the chef who decides when the food is ready. But here it's the opposite. The president's in charge, and when he decides that it has to be now, it's now. There, he decided it's not now. I'll give it to Vincent. Oh, you're going to?
The president gives his green light, and this evening, behind the curtain, François Hollande receives 30 foreign business leaders. Sometimes the head chef ventures out of his kitchen to go to market. Today he's in Corsica looking for ingredients. To showcase the best of France's produce, Guillaume handpicks everything he cooks with.
Beautiful, isn't it? Look at how red its gills are. Whoa, calm down.
Like these sea bass, croakers and bream from this Corsican breeder.
Nowadays, given how many we are, everyone wants to eat wild fish, and that's just not reasonable. We just can't afford it. So we have to support those people who are breeding quality fish like this in full respect of nature and with the best breeding methods.
These fish will soon be served on the president's table, a valuable reward for this breeder.
When we started out breeding these fish, we had no idea if it would be a success. We would never have guessed that a few years later we'd be having visits like this one. It's a great honor for all the hard work we've put in.
And when it comes to tasting the fish, the verdict is final.
It's very good. I bet that no one could tell whether this was a wild or a farm-bred fish.
Guillaume's excellent palate and imagination saw him honoured with one of the prestigious Best Craftsman in France awards when he was just 25 years old. In order to stay at the top of his game, he has a few more personal recipes, like getting in the ring and boxing whenever he has chance.
I've been boxing now for 17 years. I started with the bodyguards at the Elysée. Slowly I got into the game. When I come here, I'm not the chef at the Elysée Palace, I'm just a boxer like any other. Actually, I'm worse than most. If you get too big-headed, this quickly brings you back down to earth. Tonight's menu, scallops and langoustines with citrus fruits and a cappuccino with tarragon. The scallops are from Normandy and the langoustines are from Brittany.
To last this long in these kitchens, Guillaume has had to work on his discretion. It's a special bond between every member of staff and the president.
We work closer to the president than most. We do all of his state dinners as well as his private ones. We live close to his family, we see all of his friends and so on. Once they've placed their trust in us, it can't be betrayed.
The only state secret revealed after dinner is this one.
You can see they took a little bit of everything, even a piece of liver. They took a bit of the garnish and the carrot. The dish was therefore appealing. The president and his guest have tasted everything.
This chef will never receive the accolades or honours handed out by food critics whilst working at the Elysée Palace. Guillaume has to be happy with just the approval of the president and his guests.